Right, when I heard 59.
PM, we'll call this meeting to order. Please rise to the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us. Call this special meeting to order with roll call.
Councilmember Moffitt, present. Councilmember Carlisle, present. Councilmember Ansich,
Present.
Councilmember Robinson,
Present.
Councilmember Wenzel.
Present. We'll start with approval of the agenda as presented. Council's pleasure.
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Moved and seconded to approve the special meeting agenda. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? So passed. Public comments. This is the time for the public to comment on anything on the agenda. Floor is open. Seeing nobody jump up, we'll move on to new business, starting off with item A, fire and EMS contract with the city of Aberdeen. Chief, you want to hit on
Sure,
this?
absolutely. These are two separate contracts, so we've been negotiating back and forth with the city of Aberdeen regarding the fire and the EMS contracts. We've asked them to separate the two of them out. They wanted to keep them as one originally and extend it for an 18-month period and increase the charges on the fire side of the contract. What we, with Darren and Julie and I meeting with them, we've gone back and forth. We have an 18-month EMS contract separate from the fire contract. The fire contracts that they've sent forth is a 3-month extension of what we are currently entered into, where they're only billing for the fall and the response. So we're looking to extend that for 3 months, and the goal is at the end of those 3 months to terminate the fire contract, going back to the related agreement as we were prior to 2022. With the EMS contract, the main difference from the current EMS agreement is it changed the language to reflect the dollar amount that they're charging their citizens per utility line to reflect whatever the current Aberdeen dollar rate amount is. They did tell us that they have no intentions on raising that rate throughout the rest of this year. They're gonna speak to next year, but that is the same dollar amount that you guys approved last week at the council. Anything to add?
No. And again, this is, it is set to expire tomorrow. What is the council's pleasure on either or both?
Make motion that we approve both the fire and EMS contract with Aberdeen.
I'll second that. Moved and seconded to approve the updated, or I guess, new agreements with the city of Aberdeen and city of Cosmopolis for fire and EMS service. Discussion.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do these need to be approved separately since they're completely separate agreements?
You could do it either way.
Okay.
I mean,
Didn't want to make,
her motion was to approve them both.
okay, thank you.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? So passed. Item B, bids for demolition of the former police department building.
Thank you, Mayor. As you all know, we've been trying to get rid of the modular building now for at least a couple of years. We advertised it, nobody wanted to certainly buy it. We can't give it away because the cheapest amount to move that was 50,000, what the city of Hoquiam was told. So we have 3 bids. And what I'd like to do is request approval, take the lowest bid. But I don't want to author or award the bid until we talk with Grace Harbor County. I had a meeting today that there may be a process or a department there that could potentially use it. We want to wait until they tell us no, if they will move it because they are eligible for some grant funds potentially to move that. So this would be a worst case scenario. So the first bid is from Butcher and Sons Construction, and that amount is $12,980.52. The second bid is from Rogland's Construction, $19,580. And the third one is from Northwest Rock, and that's $30,000. This would be funded by the bond proceeds for the new building, so that's how it would be paid for. But like I said, I would not want to award the bid until we were told no by Grace Harbor County. We've had private citizens look at it. We've even offered to pay part of that for people to move it, you know, even say, give us a cost. And we'll take it back to council and see what part of that less than what our bid would be to tear it down would be. Maybe we would pay some of that, it would still save money. We just can't get any takers. So that's where we're at with that.
So is it something that? Are we looking to table it? How much time do we have?
Well, it depends on the next item. Because otherwise, if the next item is accepted tonight, its time is of the essence. I would give them no more than 3 weeks. For the county to tell us no, or yes or no.
So it could be the next meeting.
It could be at the next meeting.
How long are the bids good for?
It doesn't say, but I know if we approve the contract with Rogland's tonight, they'll be starting to do some dirt work probably within the week. Outside of that right there, so that's just, I mean. We could wait, but
We just received those bids, right, this week?
last week. One was on the 12th, one was on the 22nd, so I guess that one's, and the other one was on the 22nd.
This is something, I mean, we could table and then if need be, do a special meeting if the county says no go.
We could approve it upon,
Yeah,
we also could just approve it upon, Grace Harbor County's decision.
great, yeah, based upon Grace Harbor County's declining. Taking the bill.
Can we do that, Steve?
As long as you don't, notify the low bidder that they were awarded the contract, you can do that.
So if the councils wanted to, the motion could be to approve low bidder contract pending a decision from the county if they choose not so, or what's that? There's a better way to phrase that. Yeah, I think that would suffice, so. If there was a motion to accept the low bid. Pending denial from the county for removal.
I make a motion, we approve the low bidder contingent upon, Grace Harbor County's decision on the building.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? So pass. Now on to item C for the bid on the building as a whole, or the new building as a whole.
Okay, this one glad I'm not sitting in your shoes. The base bid from Rogland's, as I think you're aware, was $2,915,000. We went back with the architect and the contractor, asked them if they could get that price down. We did not have enough money left in the bond after paying for the architect engineering services. So Rogland's dropped their bid $121,822. It was actually $39,000 more than that, but that was on a particular item that for painting, interior and exterior. We offered to take care of all the interior painting, but not the exterior to keep the cost down. Well, they would only, if we were to do it that way, only give us a credit of 11,000. So basically, and we're not set up with the equipment to do the exterior painting. And it basically makes it, we can't accept that. They're taking the painting out. So with that, the architect has through professional services, an estimated $86,784 for inspections, project administration, and all their work that they've got to do to sign off on the project. They've given us a concession between 44,000 and 50,000. So I'm estimating low at 44,000. The building construction, we had placed in there 13,000, or building demolition 13,600, but that is going to be 12,900. So there's about $700. We have 175,000 available in our real estate excise tax fund for building construction. So with that, it still leaves us a deficit of $32,000. So as of today, if the painting had been subtracted, us doing that, we would have been in the black a few $1,000s, but we would not have any contingency. So if we were to, here's the issue: if we don't do the project because it's not affecting the general fund right now, if we discontinue the project, turn the money back, pay what we have left back towards the bond, the remaining funds will then have to come out of the general fund to pay back that roughly $400,000 that was spent on engineering and architecture. So 3 choices. 1, try to proceed. 2, hold off. 3, scrap the idea.
One of the things with this too, that, I mean, this is the design that is in the packet has been scaled down quite a bit from what the original plan was, just because of the cost of everything going up. If we were to hold off, try to scale down even more and do a redesign, there's additional costs, and just with everything else, ballpark, I mean, 50 to 100,000 just in the additional new design, all the cost.
200,000.
Yeah, I mean, but either, like, it's either take the, use that, funds, pay for the funds, the gap, go back and try to work out even more, or.
And they said there was another option. And this doesn't surprise me because they would like to redesign it a little bit more, which then is another $200,000 spent on engineering and architecture. That's,
The more we play with it, the more it costs.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
And
this is just
everything
my
is more.
personal opinion. I wouldn't pay another penny towards that, but that's certainly your call, but
Towards the redesign.
redesign. And we've already cut it in half. Be sitting in your shoes right now.
If we did choose to pay that balance, where would those funds come from?
Out of our property taxes. So we would basically not get any property taxes for a while. Pay that. Oh, the 32,000, I thought you meant. it was scrap the project.
the 30.
So that would have to
Yeah.
come out of, there's a little bit left in REIT, but I don't want to wipe that out.
Little bit, like,
Because we're planning on using part of it to help cover the deficit. And that would leave roughly 80,000 left in there, so if you take that 32, that's less than $50,000 left in REIT. So the rest of it would have to come from the general fund.
And if we were set up for exterior painting, that would save us another 39,000, but that has to be done in about a 3 or 4 day period. Because of the, like the architect has said, not the architect, rather the contractor, if it holds them up, then they can come back on us for damages, and that has to be completed for the building to be signed off on. That puts, puts us under the gun. I know we can put people together to paint the inside. There's a lot of people that would love to paint, but the exterior.
It's not worth it. Not worth you guys, no. Even the inside there, and geez, you guys are spread thin enough. How would you possibly ever cover painting the inside of that? I mean, what about, we've been kicking that REIT money around for, what, close to 2 years now? What if we just take the 32,000 and,
Just wouldn't leave much in there. That's all I'm saying. We can,
just
but that would be up to the council.
if we don't
to make
get
that
this
decision.
thing going, we're going backwards fast.
Yeah,
Really fast.
one thing we
Don't
could
have a
do.
choice.
Roglins has been wonderful to try to work.
Oh,
with. I
absolutely.
first want to say that, and so everybody knows they've gone above and beyond to try to make this work for us. And I'm very happy even with the architect, even though we paid a lot of money, that they're trying to. Maybe we ask them if they'll give us till the July meeting to see if we can work out, okay, if we can fund this, we have no contingency. One thing goes sideways, we're in trouble.
Another thought was, what about, will the excavator load the Peterbilt? What if we demo that in-house minus the asbestos abatement side?
There's no asbestos required. We had that retested last week and it came back clear.
That's something, do you feel that the guys could accomplish in a,
Yeah, with Northwest bringing in their big truck, they'd get it done in one big end haul. I don't know if our little one would reach up in there to do that. We could explore that. Jeff gets back. He's on vacation starting today.
possibly even in the big truck with the high lift and stuff?
Yeah.
That would save,
So we would take it to the same place. They would.
go in the same place and will the excavator
Said it's
load
12,000.
the 10-yarder? I think it's all good.
Mhm.
Probably. It's worth it.
We'll have to.
And if you don't,
It's worth it. We can check on that. So we can attend. When Jim gets back.
So I think we'd have to make a motion because we passed one.
Yes, exactly.
We could, I don't know if we can go back, take taxis
Resend
or
it.
however we do it, but we could table that first decision that we made on it.
A motion to reconsider.
And I think it's really dependent upon if you want to try to ask for more time on this, which it's in their best interest to do that as well. I mean,
Is if we don't. If I'm gonna make a motion to stand my motion on the
Motion to reconsider.
motion to reconsider my motion on the,
Demolition.
yes. Wording that to the low bidder. And well, but if you wanna have a public work,
yeah, I think, we'll be back, we could attend. Then we will get together again. And it may be even better just to have a workshop, if you want to have the full council, or we could do public works, talk about our options, get that down. And we'll.
then on our regular scheduled meeting, have a workshop about the whole thing.
Yeah, so everybody get a chance.
Yeah, so there is a motion to reconsider, item B in the bids for demolition. Was there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second on that motion to reconsider bids for demolition of the police department building. Is there discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed. Okay, sorry. Now, so for the, I mean, as far as workshops and meetings. That's definitely something. There's no guarantee that we get time, but it is, I'm hopeful, but how much time do we have outside of today on the bid?
Well, I think Rollins wanting to know as soon as possible, but
Yeah.
I think it's pretty evident. If the decision has to be made tonight, it's not gonna be really a go ahead. I mean, putting ourselves at some risk. Why not? If we move forward without contingency, if we can get there. Maybe.
So. Options are. Accept, table, reject.
I make a motion to table this agenda item.
I'll second.
Motion to table the bid acceptance of the new municipal facility building. Further discussion?
So. It's been said, but I personally have big concerns with going forward on a multi-million-dollar project when. If everything goes right and we take money out of other funds, we can do, but. At least 10% goes wrong. And with us not having anything to cover that. Change orders and things like that. I've never seen even a small capital project not have change orders. So I am really nervous being on the razor's edge, having a multi-million-dollar capital project. Or I guess it's not capital, but that's what I call it in my world. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
I have not been around long enough to know all the ins and outs of this whole thing, so I'm, really, I'm going to go with what I feel is appropriate for right now.
For how long are we talking about?
I would say, I mean, at this time, tabling until the next meeting and if discussions.
Have a workshop
Yeah,
before the next.
yeah,
one.
yeah, if discussions mean that we have to do something earlier, we would know at that
Okay.
time, but it depends. I mean,
Be willing. to
as it sits, table don't until the next meeting.
Okay.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. And final item on the special meeting agenda, temporary change in city hall schedule. What's that?
As you know, the general fund has taken a large hit with Cosmo being down, so we're looking at anything and everything right now to save some funds. And one of the things that has been brought up, and Julie can speak to the numbers better than I can, is during COVID, we went to a 4-day schedule, like a 4-10 schedule for me, and City Hall's 3-4.
Nearly 9 hours a day.
Yeah,
instead of
they're-
7.
Here's a 35-hour week. To basically try to save some costs by not having utilities running on Fridays, the not paying for somebody to go to the bank, the post office, and that stuff. I mean, every little thing matters. But on the other side too, we had a lot of concerns about it during COVID as well, so. What was the estimated?
It saves roughly $300 a month with utilities being the bulk of it, and mileage being the other, because the IRS mileage rate now is 65.5 cents a mile. So that adds up quick when somebody has to run somewhere for city business. So,
How much did you say, Julie?
yeah, it, 250, 300 roughly a month.
Nickel and dime everywhere we can.
When we are legitimately trying to nickel and dime everything.
And there will be additional kind of administrative orders and different things put down to all the departments coming in that again, they're just gonna be just nickel and diming, but every little bit counts, but something like this, want the council to.
And it would be temporary,
Yeah.
just until the mill comes back online and money starts rolling in again. Because I do believe it's important that we are open 5 days a week for the people to have access to us.
And if before we could do it under an emergency order, in COVID, this time, we cannot do it that way. It has to be by council approval if it's something you know it's gonna be,
I have a concern about it only, well, based upon we're supposed to be here for the public. And the city and the council took a lot of heat when we were on the COVID 4-day week. And we just finally regained that and going back to 4 days a week. I'm not sure it's a great idea for $300 a month. I know every bit counts, but $300 is it worth a black eye?
Does that mean that if we would not approve this, that then the staff is gonna get hurt?
We haven't gone into all the details yet. We are working on those numbers and we're trying to prevent any of that.
It's not a one-in-one. That's not contingent on this finding. Does the council have any pleasure? Hearing lack of motion, say item D dies on the floor. Council comments. Or Marcus.
For the $300. I would gladly really increase what funds that the council, my position, yeah. Per month.
We want to donate.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll explain to you after the meeting how that works.
that's, okay.
We cannot not give you money, but as a citizen, you are more than willing to give that money
Okay,
back.
that's.
We can't change salary midterm,
Okay.
up or down, even if it's for something like.
I got nothing.
Not tonight.
Other public comments?
Just really briefly, there's one of me after Archangel. I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time to reconsider. That's something I missed public comment before we started tonight, and I think it's really good you guys are actually looking at it as a whole, thinking about realities of where that is, because like Councilman Wendell said, is exactly how I feel as a citizen, is like looking at how high that budget is and seeing, like, looking at old news articles, it was some of the comments that were said were, this is one of the best financial situations we were in when this was voted on, and how great it was doing beforehand and how different we are right now. I think I just want to say thank you all for taking the time to actually fix that.
Seeing no other public comments, we will call a special meeting to a close.
Everybody here, we want to talk about a workshop before the next scheduled meeting to discuss